You're on air with Douglas, where fans are connected to their favorite celebrities. And here are your hosts, Douglas and Rob.
Oh, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday, January 23rd. We are coming to you live on the East Coast at 9 p.m. Welcome to On Air with Douglas. I'm your host, Douglas. And with me, of course, is my sidekick, Rob. Rob, welcome to the show.
Hey, Doug. How are you today?
I'm doing good. We've got the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful, if not the most beautiful, daytime star with us tonight, Miss Angell Conwell. Angell, welcome.
Thank you so much. You guys are so sweet.
We love you.
Well, your on-screen counterpart must be a Jabot or Newman, or he's a little busy right now. So hopefully,
you know how he does all over Genoa City.
Yeah,
or he's cooking in that tiny kitchen of his.
Who knows? Hopefully we'll hear from him, though.
Yes, hopefully we will. And I think maybe, is this Kristoff?
This is. Hey, guys. How you doing?
Hey. Good timing.
Yeah. Are we all in the ship, the mighty spaceship together?
We are all here.
We are.
Nice. Who's flying it tonight? Would that be you, Rob? You're your squadron leader?
I'm the co-pilot, I think. I don't know, Doug.
Yeah. I'm Doug. You were on our show last year when it was called the Soap Series. We did a little name change and rearranging and stuff. You know how daytime is. Changes, regime changes.
Yeah, we are all too familiar with those, aren't we?
No. You've seen a lot of them, too, since 1990.
Well, what do they say when the natives get restless? So, and then what did the Queen say? Let them eat cake?
Well, just Kristoff, just to remind you, I'm the one that met you in Tampa, and we have the same tattoo that we met when you were at the Tampa thing last year. So,
oh man, of course I remember you. Of course.
Okay, well, I just didn't know you're a bit of a
tattoo.
I live an hour from Tampa, and I was here last year, and I could have been there. See,
you missed out. It was the hottest guys of daytime there. You missed out, man. Yeah, we have the same tattoo, Angell. We
Which
both have.
one? Because I know Kristoff has several.
Yeah.
It's the Eye of Horus. I guess that's what it is. I think he's got his on it. Do you have yours on your chest or your arm?
On my arm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
On your arm.
I got my
I love that good ink.
I have 3 eye tattoos, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. Angell, she's not the type to get a tattoo. This much I know, right, Angell?
Actually, I may have a tattoo, but it's a some of the time tattoo. It's a summertime tattoo. You can only see it some of the time. you don't. It's not very visible. I had my young years, 18 or 19. I was a little rebellious.
Oh yeah. I'm glad I didn't make that. I'm glad I didn't do that. I don't regret it anymore. I love that scene, by the way, last week when Leslie was walking into Neil's office and Neil's standing there shirtless with the coffee and saying, "Don't you want me to stir your coffee?" Started cracking up.
I thought it was some good comedy. Leslie was definitely hot and bothered. She was worked up.
It was awesome. And did that take you guys a few takes? Did you start bursting out laughing or what?
I'm glad they filmed it the way they did because, I had my moments where I got a little schoolgirly and I was giggly, for sure. But you couldn't see that in my take. So thank goodness they filmed it just right.
Yeah, they did. No, I was amazed at it. I was like, wow.
Well,
you're Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, of course it's a good laugh. It's cornball stuff, but, we have to try to make it look somewhat serious. I think that's the beauty of rehearsal on the set, and I think Angell will attest to this. But, we go through some very heavy drama quite often, and then we add levity to the rehearsals purposely so that we can actually get into the drama. And,
right.
Yeah, I remember having quite a few laughs about that. The cameraman, the audio engineers, everybody on set. I got a lot of stuff about standing there shirtless in my pants and with nothing else.
Well, you know what? You couldn't tell you had pants on because they really only had you from just above the waist up. So, we weren't really even sure you were wearing pants, I think, from what I remember.
Oh, thus stir the coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Ouch, I just thought of that.
Yeah. You just got that. You tell the funniest jokes on Twitter, though. You crack. I mean, I'm laughing out loud. My cat's like freaking out. I'll be in the grocery store or something, and people are looking at me like I have 4 heads.
Well, I strive not to be funny, but to be real. But if it's funny, then cool. I like the fact that you can laugh with it. It's humorous.
Well, you're always real.
Humor.
Yeah,
I think you're real, but you're also funny too.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah.
And I've been watching you since 1990 when you came on. I remember your first episode.
Damn, that's a while ago. That's
I know.
You remember the entry into Geno City, huh?
I do. I was like 9 years old. Yep.
Yeah, I started the year Victor Newman came to town, so that's how old I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if Angell knows this, but the name Victor Newman was created by the character himself, not Eric Braeden, but he purposely changed his name, much like Eric did in his own life, in his own career, from Hans Gudegast. But Victor Newman, he named himself that because he was coming into town to be a new man, and he was going to be a victor in all circles that he traveled. So that's a little bit of interesting trivia. Did you know that, Angell?
I did not. I just got some new 411.
I did know that.
And I always get some new info around Kristoff. I love being around him because I'm telling you learn something new every day.
Well, you're one of the longest, except for like Eric Braeden and Jeannie Cooper and Doug Davidson and Melody Scott Thomas. I mean, haven't you been on the longest without taking time off than anyone else other than them?
It's been a nice run. It's been 22 years on contract and growing. But I chalk that up as it's a wonderful thing to be employed as an actor, and jobs are few and far between. And this particular one is the only one that I can think of. Besides, I mean, even The Simpsons, which is the longest running animated show. I think they're at 16, 17 years, something like that, maybe a little bit longer. But
no, 24, I think, or something. Actually.
Is it really? Is it that long? 24?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, in the 20s.
Well, then I stand corrected, but it's just such a pleasure and an honor to be part of a long-running show. We don't have them, and it's a dying breed, but it seems to be being re-energized, revitalized, renewed. There's a resurgence. I like those R-E words, because it's story. It's the stories are getting a little more compelling as we're going along, and that's due to the writers. The change of hands here and there. We have some very credible, talented, inspired people behind the helm, and with that comes good stories. So that's what I'm banking on for 2013. I couldn't be happier having a on-screen partner. Angell is just such a dream to work with. Easygoing, natural, very talented, sure of herself, and knows where she's at. And I trust her, and that's a hard thing to come by when you're working with people. You put your trust in them, because it's a little scary at times. It's like being on a ship, and you get some rocky waters every so often. And lately it's been just such a dream. It's been still waters, and I'm really appreciative.
Yeah.
That's
so
great.
how's
thank you, Kristoff.
Exactly.
You're very welcome.
How's the experience for you with the new regime? Is everything for you going good? And is it better there now? Do you feel comfortable? Because when we talked last year, it was right before the regime changed. And do you have hopes for Neil in 2013?
Well, I certainly don't want to get long-winded with this, but I can tell you that with the changing of the guard comes a new era, obviously, and with new ideas being implemented, we're being shown a new direction. And quite often with change, at first it's abrupt, and some people, you can't please everyone. Some people won't like what we're doing, but I can guarantee you that long haul, long term, it's for the betterment of the show. And as we sit and review at the beginning of the year, we see some really dramatic stories being told, and they will be concluded as the year goes on. But I'm enjoying the new shift. I wish Maria Arena Bell only the best in life and success. She was,
of course,
very necessary at the time that she came in, being such a part of the royal family, so to speak, has allowed her to put her signature stamp on the show while she was there. A lot of people didn't appreciate it. We know the negative press. but we also know, what a challenging job being a head writer and executive producer of the number one daytime show is. And she falls in with some really good company: Jack Smith, Kay Alden, Bill Bell Sr., and so on and so forth. I think at this point it would be wrong to keep comparing Maria Arena Bell's regime, her era, to another era. All we can do is just sort of do what we were given on the page, and we put that on the stage, and hopefully it's something that the audience enjoys. Sorry, didn't mean to get long-winded. What say you, Angell Conwell? What say you?
No, I love listening to you. Honestly, I'm just soaking it all up. I'm fairly new to the whole daytime drama genre, and just being around Kristoff and a lot of the other people on the Y&R cast and crew. I'm just soaking everything up. So it's great to hear you speaking, and I love that you take the bull by the horns and you say what you got to say and you want to say, and I'm just listening. Honestly, I'm getting some 411.
All right. Now,
Angell, educated.
Angell, we had a former co-star of yours, Eric Roberts, on the show a few months back, and he talked very highly of you because the writers still keep his name around because you mentioned Vance Abrams every once in a while, and he said nothing but lovely things about you, and he missed working with you.
Awesome. Yeah, I love Eric Roberts. I mean,
he said he'd come back too if they wanted him, and he was available. He'd do a guest spot.
Vance Abrams. Hey, you never know what's gonna occur. So that's hey.
Yeah.
I'm just talent.
I want to know now. When you stuck around for like 2 years, and when you first showed up, I'm like, who's this? She's beautiful. I like her. And then you were defending Sharon, obviously Leslie, defending Sharon, and kind of then just would disappear for a long time, and then show up when someone else knew the lawyer. And I said, why aren't they using her more? Why aren't they using her, this beautiful, talented actress, more? I'm like, what's going on? And I'm really glad that you stuck through it, and and finally you're getting your moment in the sun. So was it frustrating for you, or just I'm just curious, were you waiting and
Well, as actors, that's really what our whole job and our whole life is about. Basically, is hurry up and wait. But when I initially got the role of Leslie, I was supposed to be there for I think 6 months, and I wasn't exactly sure what was going to happen, what wasn't going to happen. But I'm grateful that the role was created, and the fact that Joe Farron-Phelps and Josh Griffith and everybody there seemed to keep Leslie in the loop. I'm just honored to really still be there. So, you never know what's going to happen. You just got to be ready for whatever does.
Exactly. Well, I'm just going to throw in my own 2 cents and predictions and ideas, and they may be off the wall. And I know we never let any of you guys think that we're going to try to lure anything out of you because we know breach of contract and stuff. So, but this is just what I think. This week, on the U.S. airings, Leslie and your newfound brother that just came to town, Tyler, have been talking about something about a mama. Now, something just clicks in me, and I'm thinking, is there any possible way your mama is Drusilla?
That's so funny.
Wow. Oh my God, that would be crazy. Imagine the cat fights if she came back. It'd be like Crystal and Alexis on Dynasty. Or...
You have quite the imagination.
Well, it only struck me because you guys were talking about being in trouble. You and I think it was on today's episode, talking about you guys have been in trouble before. We don't want to get into more trouble. And then so I went online and I was like, okay, how old is Angell? How old is Victoria or Drusilla? And I was like, is it even possible that them are schemers that are coming to town to take down, Neil or something like that? That's just my crazy thought.
On a soap, a mother only has to be 5 years older than her kid. You know that.
You did your research and everything to see if that could connect. Listen, I have no clue. I have no clue. I read the words on the paper and try to make them come to life.
Well, I think you're in the witness protection program or something, or you're running from the mafia. It's something like that. That's what I'm thinking.
That's hate.
What do you think about that, Kristoff?
Well, my first thought is that if Victoria Rao is anywhere near the radio tonight, she's turning over right now. She's like, Maybe my sister, but definitely not my daughter.
Right, exactly. I know. That's so funny.
Oh,
you gotta be careful when it comes to women and that.
I know.
No, we love Victoria. No.
No. It was just the first crazy thought because anything's possible in soaps. I mean, everybody gets doppelgangers, and we had 3 or 2 doppelgangers on at one time a couple of years ago. I mean,
there's Tracy and did the Sarah Smythe, and then there was Stacey Haydick playing Patty and Dr. Emily Peterson, and then Phyllis Michelle had done the Sheila and Phyllis thing. Like what? Come on, how many people can have plastic surgery and then their voices match too?
But I want to know about why Neil keeps getting tossed around business-wise. Neil is a strong man. He is a very smart man, and he just gets tossed around like a sack of potatoes in the business world, and I'm tired of it.
He needs his own company,
Well, these are keen observations, gentlemen, and but I must say that it really has more to do with regime change than anything. When new people come in and formulate new story, they often shift in different directions than where the characters previously were.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, indeed, Neil has usually been, in the company of either John Abbott, Victor Newman, Catherine Chancellor when these shifts have occurred. So I think that's more of the reason why the company hopping. If you look at when Neil was with Victor Newman as his right hand, that was a storyline that lasted for years. And finally Neil decided to take the bull by the horns and say goodbye to Victor. But I would have to point fingers at head writers. It's just their signature stamp on where they want to take particular characters.
Yeah.
I'm not in harmony with it. I mean, Neil should have been running his own company long ago. But that's from my lips to God's ears, and hopefully.
Well, I've actually tweeted to Angelica McDaniel to give you a bigger house.
Get him out of the mobile home.
Like you're living in this 3-bedroom garden-style apartment that the average person who makes moderate income would live in, and you're like a multimillionaire. What's going on with that? And your kitchen's tiny.
Hey, wait a minute, brother, my brother. Listen, I'm just glad that there is an apartment to speak of because there are some characters who do not go home. So at least we have Neil's apartment.
That's true, but I think if Victor and Nikki get the ranch rebuilt, I think you should buy the penthouse, or Neil should buy the penthouse from Victor, and then at least he'll be living in a place that's in line with his income.
So I'm just tired of doing love scenes on the couch. Angel, how do you feel about that? Wouldn't you like to make love in the bed, in the real bed?
Hey, I'm just saying, it's nothing wrong with a nice, cushy, soft bed. Not at all, not at all. I definitely realized that Neil seems to enjoy that couch. He must want it so bad that he cannot make it back to that bedroom.
Well, I know. Well, Moses was conceived in that couch, and
that's very true.
I don't even remember the last time we've seen the kitchen, actually.
That's funny.
That's funny.
Hey, man, Neil's the kind of cat, he's so stuffed sometimes that he'd be the kind of cat that if Leslie and Neil were making love in his bed, he would probably stop and say, "This reminds me of my ex-wife, my dead wife, Drusilla. I can just see the scene happening right now."
Neil, that's a nice intimate moment.
If you remember to take his tie off first. Yeah.
Oh, God.
No.
So, Angel, speaking of, your family is expanding with the addition of Redrick, who plays your brother Tyler. So what's it been like working with him?
It's awesome. He's grateful to be working, and he's just like I do. You want to get better. You want to learn. You just want to make sure you're at the top of your game, and you're just kind of soaking everything up. So Redrick is great. He has an enormous amount of potential.
And muscles.
So I'm excited to see where it goes. What did you say?
And muscles.
Listen, there is no shortage.
He wasn't thinking about muscles when you said enormous.
There's no shortage. You have Redrick, you got Kristoff, Schmar. There's a lot of muscles going on. What can you say?
Angel,
it's a beautiful thing.
Angel, you did say he has enormous, and then you let it hang for a minute.
You
left yourself wide open for that.
You know what, Kristoff? You have to go there. That is not even right.
I had to. This is the boys' club right now.
Man, I tell you. See the way men think completely different from the way I would have never said that if I knew that was where it was going to go. But
Kristoff gotten yelled at on Twitter for telling an off-color joke before.
Oh, yeah, I have. Well,
So I had to keep repeating and trying to reuse your joke as much as I could for the next few days after that.
Man. Hey, listen, I've been in trouble quite a few times on Twitter, but the way I'm seeing it is you've got to be cautious, definitely, when leaving tweets or twizzles or whatever we want to call them. But it's an expression from your mind first, maybe your soul, depending on where you're coming from at the moment. And again, being cautious is key. But I have gotten into trouble for saying some off-color things, and I don't regret them.
The person was hypersensitive. It was it's like, come on, you're an adult. I thought it was funny.
I keep my Twitter really PG-13, which is also equal to boring. But I have a feeling I'd get in trouble too if I said everything, even half of the things that I really wanted to tweet. So I keep it simple, keep it cute, or put it on mute.
That's a good one. Keep it cute or put it on mute. I've had to step back lately. I've had to censor myself a little more lately. It's been better.
Before we go on, guys, wait, can I say this? It's also an awesome responsibility if you really think about the truth behind social media and the things that we put out there. The things that we say, the expressions, and I love the fact that I was talking to Angell one day about Twitter, and she said, which I've heard a couple of times, but not really until I listened to Angell. She said everybody's a philosopher on Twitter. And I thought about it. I went, yeah, you know what? Everybody does turn into Plato because they want people to, think that they've got these deep spiritual, thoughts and a real sense of themselves. But you can tell the people who are just putting those, vibes out there just to put them out, and those that mean it, those that have some sincerity behind their twizzles. So anyway, just had to get that off my chest. There we go. All right.
That's cool. We like that.
That's true. Just to let listeners know, if you want to speak to Angell or Kristoff or both, definitely go ahead and call in, and we'll get your call screened for later in the show. 347-215-9503. Make sure you press 1 so we know we need to talk to you. Angell, I just wanted to. I had Kristoff on before, so I went through his whole, life story, brought out the family portrait, and got all that out. But with you, I was just curious, how long have you been acting, and when did you get the acting bug?
Oh, wow, I've been acting for a minute. I moved to California at the age of really young, like 12, specifically for pilot season, which is when they, film all the new shows and do the auditions for the new shows that'll be on for the next season. So really, since I was 12, and my first show that I booked was actually a CBS show called Dave's World with Harry Anderson, and I was on that show for several years. And I had my seasons. I had my off seasons, and I had my on seasons. But I've definitely been pretty fortunate because I've always consistently worked, and I've gone through a lot of changes, ups and downs, twists and turns. But I'm clearly sticking with it. So 12 years old for a while.
Yeah, I remember watching Baby Boy and Soul Plane and seeing you in those. And Soul Plane was a crazy movie. I love those type of films.
We had so much fun. I filmed most of my scenes with Sofia Vergara at the time, and who else was it? And Kevin Hart. We had a lot of fun. I mean, there's people who have their opinions about Soul Plane, but clearly it was made for laughs. We weren't trying to win an Oscar. If it was a purple plane on hydraulics, clearly we were just, having a lot of fun. So, that's good. I love comedy. I love drama. And it's a good thing when you're able to kind of dibble into all of those genres and figure out what works best for you.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I know Leslie's new, and she's, she's not new, but she's there more now, thank goodness. I'm so glad that the regime has brought you on, because I'll remember the first day I saw you, saw Leslie come up there, I just was like, wow. I don't know who she is or where she came from, but she needs to be on my screen every day. Yep. And then you disappeared, like we talked about a minute ago. You disappeared for a while, and now you're back every day. And when you first got there, Neil was with Sophia, and I love Sophia. Julia Pace-Mitchell is a brilliant actress; she's amazing. Mm-hmm. But I just was like, okay, if that situation ever dissolved, I hope and pray they bring Leslie and Neil together, because you guys are on fire. Oh my gosh.
Yep, finally chemistry, you know.
I mean, you see it, stirring the coffee. You see it.
Yeah.
It's chemistry. I mean, Kristoff he's Kristoff. It's really not that difficult to have chemistry with him. He's great to work with, and he's handsome. I mean, clearly, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
You're a sweetheart for saying that, but I gotta differ with you on this, because chemistry is hard to come by, and I think that's the special thing that you find every so often, and it has to do with personalities. And I can say that people don't know Angell like I know her, the fans, but I know her to be, very, very quiet, demure, but at the same time very goofy and loud, and the combination works well, because that's me to a T. Mm-hmm. I go back and forth between my personalities, my moodiness and my extreme, maybe that sounds like bipolar schizophrenia, but I'm telling you, it's not that. Yeah.
Well.
And so seriously, Angell, you have a real kind of quality, and it's hard to match that quality with another human being, and I think that's why people sense or see that these two characters at this point should be together. So thank you for saying what you said, but I gotta at least say that.
Well, thank you, but it's really the truth. But I understand chemistry is not always that easy to come by. But right. I feel like for me with Kristoff, it's not that difficult, because I just feel like our personalities mesh. And I'm sorry, you guys, if I'm kind of going in and out, but my reception, for whatever reason. Thank you, Sprint, but I'm having some issues with hearing you guys.
Oh, we can hear you. We can hear you.
No, that's what's going on my end.
Now, I had a question.
That's because you got to put the tinfoil on your rabbit ears on your iPhone, little bit of door.
Oh, no. Oh, that reminds me of, with family time when we were trying to get the station before to watch.
Oh, God.
Get the bunch of ears and, put some aluminum foil.
When I was a kid, I had to do that because my dad's TV was like 30 years old.
Oh man!
Hey, all those out that are listening in the audience who remember rabbit ears and putting tinfoil, raise their hands now.
Yeah.
Please stand up. Please stand up.
I had to stand with my hand on the TV in a certain spot and watch a certain channel, or else.
The good old days. The good old days.
Yeah. I was now with obviously, Julia Pace-Mitchell and Debbie Morgan are both extremely talented actresses, and I've seen Debbie Morgan in several things. I don't know if you remember when she was on Charmed as the seer, the psychic like hell, basically. She was awesome in that role. Nothing like Harmony, nothing like her AMC role, and she's so versatile and talented. And I don't know exactly, but what was going on at the time on the show behind the scenes, but it almost appeared like, they were just hiring up all the big-name soap stars whose shows got canceled, and then, let's scramble and write a part for them after the fact. That's kind of what I thought, because, I was excited to see Debbie Morgan on the show, but just the role of Harmony was not doing her justice, and they're just, it seemed kind of like the chemistry wasn't there, and then I don't know, that's not her fault. And I know that she will definitely find work, but it's just, I don't know if you can even answer that as a question.
Sure. Well, you have to understand that, there's a gap between the two actresses that you mentioned, Julia
right.
and Debbie, and taking nothing away from Julia's career or what she's, her legacy, what she will leave behind. But Debbie's, she's a legend. She's been in the business for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And she's, I've worked with her on numerous occasions. We've always played family members, and so this was the first time that Debbie and I played lovers. And
okay.
It's not a stretch to the imagination for me personally, because I'm an actor, but quite possibly the characters weren't well matched because of the obvious. She comes from a pretty dangerous background, and Neil comes from a very well-educated background, which was the what worked between Neil and Drew. But
right.
Honestly, Debbie, you've got to ask Maria Arena Bell. The reasons for bringing stars onto CBS, onto Young and the Restless. She wanted to bring some of her favorites, and Debbie Morgan, Angie, and Jesse Darnell Williams were amongst her favorite actors that she had watched growing up. So we understand why Debbie ended up on the show. Julia, very talented actor in her own right, has a very, very talented, inspired parents for that were in the business for a long time. So you just got to kind of weigh it as what it is. I love working.
Yeah, I was.
Well, I'm glad to know that Debbie's going back to the reboot of All My Children, so that's good to know.
Oh, yay. Yeah, I heard about that, too. That's good stuff. Yeah, very talented lady.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I know where I was going to go with this a minute ago, Angel. I know Leslie's new there, but is there someone on the show who's, whether they're a newer character or a veteran, that you would like to work with and have a storyline with?
Well, I really don't think too much about it, but I mean, I know that they're you mean as far as a male situation?
Oh no,
Nikki. Nikki, Melody.
Yeah.
Everyone in my family are Nikki lovers, so I mean that came to mind. But I kind of just go with the flow.
Yeah,
kind of go with the flow and let things be as they will, as they may.
I would like to see Neil have some longevity, like the characters of Michael and Lauren, who's had a rock solid relationship for 8 years. 8 years on screen, but Finn's like 16, so the whole rapid.
Yes, in soap years, I think they have the long. Don't they hold the record for the longest unbroken marriage in soaps? I think so, but that you never know when that's going to happen. But that's why I'm really hoping for the future. But then again, no story. The stories would be boring if there's no drama. So it looks like Leslie and Tyler's past is going to start revealing its ugly head, and we're going to be seeing some stuff coming up. So I'm anxious to see what that is. So I was just curious if there was anybody that you'd like to have some scenes with that you haven't. And I think you and Nikki, you guys are.
Yeah, I mean everybody's so talented. I mean, it'd be great to just have a chance to work with everybody at some point, But time will tell. Time will tell.
Yeah.
I like how the new regime is writing more like same-sex platonic friendships back into the show. Like Michael and Paul, and I don't know who else. There's been a few. I like it's good for people to have friends and not just like ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, and wives and whatnot. So it'd be cool. You need a girlfriend, a best friend, something like that.
I agree. The possibilities are pretty endless. So we shall see. As we're talking, I'm like rolling into different parts of the area because I realize this reception has not gotten any better, and I can't believe it. But I'm trying to hear you as best as I can.
We can hear
problem.
you.
Yeah, we hear you great.
Okay.
So Kristoff,
all I can do is hope that I'm answering the questions that are being asked.
Oh yeah, you are. You are.
Okay.
So Kristoff, how is the family and how was your holidays?
Family is good. Thanks for asking. All three children, Lola 9, Paris 20, Julian is 23. Our holidays were excellent. I got a virus over the New Year, which put me out. It was hard to celebrate the New Year with what I had, but we go through it. I don't get a flu shot here. I just don't believe in it, but I didn't have the flu. I had the stomach flu. I was in Catalina, and in spite of my sickness, I had a great time. My little girl Lola, she decided that she wanted to climb a 40-foot rock wall, which she did successfully.
Oh wow!
And she wanted to zip line 380 feet above the ground. My girl's a daredevil. She loves to, take life to its fullest. So I'm blessed. I have a have a very exciting family life show. Nothing like what Neil would have.
Yeah.
And your son looks just like you too, except the hair.
That's my dude, Julian, man. He's 23 and
I couldn't believe he looks exactly like you if you cut his hair or if you grew yours.
Right. Well, if you saw his mom, you'd see that he has his mom's face as well. She's got a round face. But, that's my dude, I'm telling you.
That's cool.
Now, Angell, I was looking online to go through some of your IMDb, and I noticed that there's a new film in production. Have you completed that, the 24-Hour Love?
I did. I just actually went to a screening not too long ago of 24-Hour Love. It's a cute movie. It's where there's like 6 different stories, and they kind of all come together towards the end of the film. Lynn Whitfield is in it. You know, it's a nice little flick. I like to just kind of stay busy.
Yeah.
And stay warm.
Well, that's good.
That's what that one was.
And it's kind of ironic that the ex-Malcolm, Darius McCrary, is in that film.
He is in it, right?
Yep.
Darius is in it? He is in it. You know what? It's six films, and each one kind of gets like 10 or 15 minutes in the movie. So I thought that was the one that he was in. I'm telling you, sometimes we're going a mile a minute, and we're doing so many different things, I can't remember half the time who's in what anymore.
I worked with you somewhere, someplace, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've got some people that want to call and say hi, or that are on hold that want to say hi to one of you or both of you. So first up is Eve. Eve, you are on with Kristoff and Angell. Go ahead. Eve.
You there? She's not there, guys.
Uh-oh. I think she was kidnapped. Okay. Come back, Eve. All right, we'll go to Jamel. Jamel, you're on with Kristoff and Angell. Go ahead.
Oh, hi. Hi, Angell, and hi, Kristoff.
Hi,
Jamel.
Hi. You know what? I wanted to say I'm happy that we see Leslie and Neil sort of be the forefront, like a power couple, with their family at Jabot, and I'm excited that they sort of invested in what happens with Newman, with Jack, and with it's fun to see the Winters have some storyline to be really invested in, to be into the power plays and have intrigue and stuff. So I'm excited about what's coming up for these characters.
Wonderful. Thank you for saying that, man. We really appreciate that. We're striving to give the best story possible, and that's what you're noticing right now. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, it feels reminiscent of like I don't know, not the '90s, but it feels like we getting more chance to get more of everybody's lives, and I like that Angell, when you worked with Michelle Stafford, I think I said her name wrong.
Actually, she dropped her call dropped, so we're waiting for her to call back in.
Oh, okay. But I like when Leslie and Phyllis are together, so I'm sort of hoping that whatever happens with Jack's storyline and Phyllis, that they come in and that there's sort of this camaraderie between all the families, that it is sort of be the Newmans against Newman against Jabot, so we could see something go on for, who knows, a couple of years of storyline with all these characters.
Angell, you want to take that?
Oh, her phone dropped, so I'm waiting for her to call back in.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, all I can say is that the Winters family has gone through a number of different, lives as we've gone on in the past decade, and I'm for the last 5 years I've been more or less supporting what's been going on with Lily and her life, her husband, her children, and I guess it's noticeable now that there's other aspects to life for Neil other than his family. It's the business life, and so I definitely appreciate the generous and kind words about where we're headed, and that's all I'm trying to get out of the story itself is I just want to be an actor that has something real to work with, and good story, drama at the forefront, and good characters to play opposite, and that's what's happening now. So bravo to those that are writing, and to the fans that are watching, because it's it's your vote that counts. If you if you write in, they listen. They do. They're gonna hear you. They may not always implement what you're saying, but they will definitely listen to it at some point or another. If there's a great storyline that's imparted by a fan, they just may take that and run with it. So you never know when you're writing into Angelica McDaniel or Steve Kent or Stevie S. Proper what they are listening to. So keep your thoughts, on paper and write them in.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jamel. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Angelica is very receptive. I tweet with her quite often, and she's very responsive and receptive, and I think she's an asset to the show. And I always tell people, be constructive. If you just want to bitch, then don't bother them, because it's not going to help anybody.
Right. Well, and let me be fair. When we were talking about the regime before, the new regime versus the old one, let me say that the hardest job on the planet right now is with Jill Farron-Phelps. She came into the show at such a critical time, knowing that the soap genre is in jeopardy, knowing that there are only 4 soaps on air. We have dwindled down from 13, 14, even 15 soaps on air at one time, down to 4. There can be a resurgence. What Jill is trying to do is bring the excitement back. And that I can attest to by being in meetings with the actors, with her, with Josh Griffith, with the hierarchy. We are trying our best to help the rest of the genre revitalize. Yeah. And if that means, some characters go by the wayside, some characters that fans may not want to see front and center, but it's for a purpose, and that has to be understood. Anytime there's an executive producer change, it's hard on everyone, especially the fans, because the fans know better than anyone the history of the show. Those long-term watchers have 20, 30, 40 years under their belt. This year we're celebrating our 40th anniversary. And for those that have been watching a long time, I commend you, because it's not easy to stick with the same brand for as many years as the fans have. Yeah. But Jill is, she's been hired to revitalize a brand, and that she is doing slowly but surely. You certainly can't, within the first 3 months, 6 months, judge what is working, because it takes a minute. It takes a year to get this thing off and running. So applause to those, like Jill, or specifically Jill, who has, like I said, one of the tougher jobs in the business right now.
Yeah, and I started the show last year as a positive means for people to voice their passion and their love for the soaps, to show that soaps matter. I do know that Angelica listens to our shows, so I'm always trying to make sure that we always keep the positivity. I tell people on Twitter and Facebook and everywhere, don't tweet negative things to these people. I mean, if you're doing damage to them, to the shows and the genre, if you keep doing that. I mean, you have to realize there's a lot of people upset because now they've brought on Steve Burton from General Hospital over to Young and Restless, and they don't want anything to happen to him like that happened to Jeannie Francis and Stephen Nichols and Debbie Morgan. We don't bring a big player in and then don't develop them and do the right thing. So I'm hoping that Jill does a great job with the character of Dylan McAvoy coming in a couple weeks. I'm excited because I'm a General Hospital fan, so it's going to be neat to see his dynamic go from playing Jason Morgan to playing this new character.
Everybody knows how I feel. Just I want my Ashley back. I'll be happy.
Yeah, we're working on a campaign to get Brenda Epperson back to reprise the role of Ashley.
I bet Kristoff's heard about that by now.
Yeah, I have. Brenda Epperson was an awesome replacement for that character, and the fans loved her. Mm-hmm. If she were to come back, they would embrace her. It's been such a long period of time since Brenda's been on the show. She's such a warm, wonderful human being, and you often hear people in the business talk about their their friends, their co-stars in such a loving way. But I can tell you that Brenda is one of those people that, because of her personality, she's such a people person, and she would breathe life back into the character. But, at the same time, you have to look at what Ashley or Eileen Davidson brought to the role. And
she's amazing.
On Days of Our Lives, and, she put her mark on it. So, we'll see what happens in the next 6 months, but I don't think that they have designs on bringing her back. I could be wrong, though.
Interesting.
We'll just keeping our fingers crossed, because Jack's in a lot of trouble right now with the death of that, that hooker, and and Tracy's gone too, and Abby's gone, and he needs his sister. So that's just what we think.
Perfect. And Brenda wants to do it, and we did a poll, and 90% of people were in favor of it. It was
right.
So, and we love Eileen, and if Eileen weren't working, if she were not on Days of Our Lives, I'd be campaigning to get her back on the show for sure.
Yeah, of course.
But I think she's a character that's at core, and that, to me, and personally, when I started watching the show, she's as necessary to the show as any of the Newmans, or the Abbotts, or you.
Now I'm looking back, I'm trying to go, because I've been watching. I'm 39. I've been watching probably 31 years that I can recall, and I'm trying to remember. Was there ever a storyline with Ashley and Neil? Was there?
Well,
did you guys?
Of course, yes. Yeah, there was back in I can't remember the exact year, but it wasn't that long ago. It was 2009 or 10.
Yeah.
Or maybe 10 that Ashley and Neil got together and decided they wanted to spark their romance. It lasted for a quick minute, and it was really more fodder for Tucker. The character of Neil had to romance Ashley in order to make Tucker jealous. So, it was very divisive. I didn't really think that they were going to go far with that, especially in light of Neil and Victoria years ago getting together, being not one of the first interracial couplings on the show, but it definitely it wasn't met with warm reception, and the fans let us know that. And there was a small segment of the population that decided to write in some very negative criticism. And that's to be expected, but they pulled the storyline at the time.
Okay, I just couldn't remember offhand. There's so many storylines and things.
It was quick. It was brief. It did seem to end abruptly, but I definitely remember that. I think the problem is the fans just were, for so many years, it was you and Victoria, and you were such a popular power couple, and people just had a hard time seeing Neil with anybody else, And that's to be expected.
You just said it. You said it. The fans, they don't want to see Victor and Nikki with anyone else but Victor and Nikki. They don't want to see Neil and Drew separated. These are star-crossed lovers that got together in their 20s, and so people now, the baby boomers, my age, are sitting there going, well, Neil and Drew need to be together. So no other coupling is really going to be 100% sufficient. And until Neil and Drew are reunited, the fans will always clamor. They will always ask for that pairing again. So I'm aware of that, and so are the powers that be. It's just that some different direction is being taken on the show. That's all.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we're loving the direction that it's going into, and I'm excited to see what's in the future for not only Neil and Leslie, but also everything that's going on, because they brought on some new younger characters and some new storylines are developing there. And we had Jeannie Cooper on the show last week, and she's just a riot. She was so much fun, and I love the interaction between Neil and Catherine as well. When Neil worked at Chancellor Industries, and she said she's starting a new storyline as well that the fans are going to be pretty receptive of. So I'm really excited to see that as well.
Well, yeah. What people don't know about Jeannie Cooper is that she is the life of that television set. On stage 41 and 43, that's the two stages that we use morning and afternoon. Whenever Jeannie is on, the place is a comedy store. She is the funniest human being alive, and she says things that just puts you in another dimension. So we're blessed to have. I'm worried, though, guys. I'm worried at this point in Jeannie's growth, and she's not a spring chicken anymore. And I think what we're seeing is, I'm not going to say the last, but I will say that Jeannie, she's been on the show for 40 years, and who knows how much longer Jeannie is going to be with us. It's a real thing. It's a reality that her age is, she's gotten older, and I'm really appreciating working with her at this point.
Yeah.
Because she's a special human being, not just her acting talent, but she's really just such a blessing to all of us. She gives us great advice. She's like everyone's mother on that show. She really is. She is Catherine Chancellor and then some.
Yeah.
So that's my little tribute to Ginny Cooper.
Yeah.
We loved her. It was amazing. She was funny and just said whatever was on her mind. She was so brutally honest but tactful. It was just, I love people when they get to be her age, and they have all kinds of wisdom to share.
And over on Bold and Beautiful, we just lost, Susan Flannery has left, and, that was one of those things where we knew it was coming. So it's just to know that one day Catherine Chancellor is no longer going to be in Genoa City is going to be a heartfelt day, because she, as you said, she brings so much life into the Genoa City.
Guys, we are seeing, the ends of certain actors, people's careers in front of us, and I say that with all the respect that I can possibly muster up. Ginny Cooper, Eric Braeden, on other shows that are on daytime, Erica Slezak, people who have been hustling for many, many years, who are our staple characters, who we define as daytime soap opera legendary in general, okay? So while we watch these masters of their art, and I am just a spoke in the wheel, and I've said this before, I'm in it to win it. I'm in it because I'm part of the ensemble cast that we, day in and day out, we give you something hopefully to entertain you. And, my job is such a blessing to work with these giants in the industry. I feel like a fan myself. I really do. I watch Eric, Melody, Jeannie, Erica, Jeannie Francis, Tony Geary, some of the legends, Jim Reynolds at Days of Our Lives, Drake Hogestyn, some of these people who have been, Stephen Nichols, who was Patch. I couldn't believe when Stephen came on our show, and I went, this is Patch. I was watching Dude on Days of Our Lives way back in the day, and he is daytime royalty, and unfortunately he has been he's no longer on our show, but we are very, very we're very definitely this is that time where, as the audience, you are getting a rare treat to watch daytime, maybe possibly at its end. So let's enjoy it while we have it, people.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so that left no words. Sorry about that.
No. I'm here. I just have to mute myself in between, because there's background noise. So I just have to mute myself. But no, I listened to all that, and we're going to continue to celebrate soaps, and and having that the two soaps from ABC are reemerging online. I think the year 2013 is going to show that soaps do matter, and that they're going to be here for a little bit longer than what people think. That's just my hope and my energy that I want to put out there.
Well, your hope can be transferred to those that watch by simply tuning in and supporting the soaps that are still left. If our soap, Young and the Restless, became the last bastion for ABC and NBC stars to come on, so be it. But with sheer numbers and writing in, and with social media, Twitter, Facebook, we have a voice. The fans have a voice, and they can let those that are in powerful positions know what they want. So it's either a rebirth or it's an end to, and I choose to say it as a rebirth.
That's what I hope for as well.
I love a good rebirth. Well, Angell apparently is in an area where she can't call back in. So
she tweeted me and she's unable to call.
Yeah, she's unable to get through, so she's got a little bit of connection issues. So I'm glad she was at least to be with us most of the hour. So when you see her, do give her our love, and we'll have you both back again down the road after.
I think Eve might be back. I'm going to check for a second.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. We're going to see if this other caller is wanting to get through.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay. Is she there? She's not there? Well, she's tweeting.
I'm still here.
You're tweeting. Oh, okay. All right. Well, there we go. Stuff happens. Eve, let me try you one more time. I see you're tweeting. Eve, are you there?
Yes.
There you are.
There you are.
There you go. Go ahead.
I
You're
never left.
Oh, well, we've been trying to get your attention, hon. Well, you're on with Kristoff. Go ahead.
I'm on with Kristoff now?
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
I finally get to talk to you?
Mm-hmm. Eve, it's me and you. It's me and you. We're on a desert island, and we're chilling out in the sun. We're in our Chase lounges with our Corona beer, and now is the time to ask whatever you want.
Oh my God, I'm in heaven right now.
Well, I hope heaven is more than this. Let me tell you, girl. I hope so.
Well, because I was like heartbroken the last time that you were on, and I didn't get a chance to talk to you, and it's like I was thinking that tonight was going to be ending up the same way. Wow.
Where are you calling from? Where are you calling from tonight?
I'm at the San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay, up there. Okay, up north. I've been up there.
Yeah, it's cold up here right now.
Oh, it's my favorite area.
So you need to come up here and warm me up, hon.
Oh boy, just turned into a dating show.
I don't know what his wife was saying.
About you having your
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
No, you were talking about you having that shirt off earlier, and I was like, yeah, I remember seeing that, and I was like, oh, that was a little steamy moment right there.
Oh, right. So you like the shirtless stuff. Well, let me let the writers know.
Yeah.
Yes, if we ever get the HBO or Showtime version, I'm sure you'll be happy, right?
I would be more than happy.
Do you have a question for Kristoff?
I did earlier, and I forgot what I was going to say.
That's okay.
If Kristoff takes his shirt off now, would it make you more comfortable?
Say that again?
That if Kristoff takes his shirt off now, would that make you more comfortable?
No, that's probably more uncomfortable.
If he was in the same room with me, yeah.
You want to stir your coffee?
Oh,
nice. I'm ready. I am the stirrer of the coffee. That is my new stirrer of the coffee.
Oh, I'm going to call you that now. No.
All right. Go ahead, Eve, with your comment. Go ahead with your comment because we got to wrap up in a few minutes.
All right. Well, besides you being hot as sin, anyway.
Nice. I like that.
Anyway, I was wondering, would it be possible to get an autograph of you?
Well, autograph pictures are not hard to come by. You should tweet me, twizzle me, get on Twitter, and ask me a couple of times. I get a lot of requests. I try to fulfill, but I'd be happy to talk to you on Twitter. Okay,
well, you and I have talked a little bit on Twitter, and in fact, I sent that question to you earlier, but you never answered it. But I guess that's okay because you're busy talking.
Well, he's busy stirring a lot of coffee, so you got to be patient, okay?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
His swizzle stick is in demand.
Well,
you put me on hold quite a while ago, and I'm still here, so I guess it says I'm patient.
Yeah.
Eva, what's your Twitter handle? What is your Twitter handle?
It's Eva_Eve.
Okay. I promise you I'll pay closer attention. You know, a lot of stuff happens in life. I try to answer everyone who asks me a question, but sometimes I fall by the wayside with the question. So let's try it again.
It's okay, sweetie. I know you're busy, so it's cool. You're forgiven.
Nice. Okay, so let me ask you a question. What are you enjoying right now the most about Young and the Restless? What's the main change that you see that you enjoy the most?
You and Leslie, and seeing you with your shirt off.
Well, alrighty then.
I'll take it. So, in the Bahamas, I'll be waiting for you on the beach.
Okay, I'll be there in like 2 seconds flat.
Oh boy, you're just stirring the coffee literally now.
I'm gonna tweet Angelica about that right now.
Yeah, you two need to get serious for real.
Well, it went from stirring the coffee to something else. That's all I can say.
There we go.
Either that or you need to get Drew back, like, now, because Drew is greatly missed.
Yeah, she sure is. Well, we're working on that. We'll see what happens in the next year, but there's, as I understand, there's no plans presently to bring her back. So we just have to kind of enjoy what we're seeing, without her presence. But she is well missed. We all agree.
Just keep watching, Eve, okay? Every day, never miss it.
I don't. I've been watching this since I was like 6, 7 years old, so it's like it's the only stuff I watch. I can't even watch another show, because if I do, I feel like I'm cheating on them in Restless. I can't do that.
It's okay. Support all the soaps on daytime, all 4 of them if you can, because we need all the ratings and all the positivity out there so we can keep these going, because we don't want another cooking show or a talk show.
Talk show.
Oh, heck no. Heck no.
And nowadays, you don't have to choose. You can DVR or you can watch one online because if they're on at the same time, it doesn't even matter anymore. So, I don't have to choose between Days of Our Lives and The Restless, because I just watch them online.
Well, Eve, thanks so much for your call. I'm sorry to cut you off, but we do need to go because our time is almost out.
It's all right.
Thanks, Eve.
Thanks again, Kristoff.
Thank you, Eve. Keep watching the show. Appreciate your love, and we'll see you on the TV.
Oh, Kristoff. Well, thank you so much for coming back tonight to do a little Leslie and Neil reunion for everybody. You guys are loved, as you know, and we're going to continue to support you in Angell's career, and also keep continuing to show positive feedback to the powers that be, that we love seeing you both on our screens every day.
Absolutely. To get you a bigger apartment or house.
Yeah, I'm working on the bigger house, and appreciate you guys for spreading the word. Without the social media that has taken over in the last decade, without your presence, we mean nothing. The fans, are the number one reason why we do the show day in and day out. And so, when we talk about it, when we discuss it in forums, blogs, radio shows, it only reaches a new height, a new level, and I'm happy to be a part of that. So thank you guys for keeping hope alive and inspiring those that are listening. It's nothing that I've written down. I'm just saying to you that my appreciation is greater than you think. We are all just struggling to be the best that we can be on a daily basis. So if Young and the Restless turns you on for that hour every day, I am so happy that that's the case. And I'm part of the cast that tries to bring you good quality creative programming. So thank you guys for doing your quality creative programming. Appreciate you.
No problem. Well, listen.
Thank you for giving us 22 years of Neil.
Right on. And come to my Twitter, Kristoff St. John 1. Check me out on Twitter. If those that are listening, I'm sure that those that are listening already are on Twitter. But again, thank you for the chance to discuss, something that is very dear and near to me.
Did you? Oh, and speaking of Kristoff St. John 1, did you ever get that fool that took your name?
That's funny. Yeah, he or she left willingly. They decided to pull down the site after about 2 months of me being on Twitter. So, I knew at some point it would be resolved. I don't know if it was pressure from my end or not that, instigated that removal, but, that's the only one that's up there now. But the problem is I can't get my own name back, and unless I want to lose the followers.
They can't transfer it,
Right?
Yeah.
So, they did the rules, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, and you are the one and only, so the one is perfect.
The one.
Well, thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
You're welcome, and we'll have you back later in the year, okay?
Okay, real good. Enjoy life.
All right.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. We lost Angell a little bit ago. She's unable to get back in, so we'll have them both back on the show in a few months, and after we get some story development from what's going on in Genoa City. So thanks to everybody for tuning in. I'm going to take this quick minute to do a promo, and then we'll do a few minutes of talking before we end.
For all the latest entertainment news, show schedule, and archive shows, check out onairwithdouglas.com. And would you like to be a guest co-host with Douglas? Just help book a guest, and you can spend the hour with the guest. Contact onairwithdouglas@gmail.com for more. Today's show is sponsored by soapstyle.com, where you can get all the latest fashion trends from daytimes to bold and the beautiful. For more information, go to soapstyle.com. Now, back to the show.
All right. I want to thank Rob for setting this up. We're both big fans of Angell and Kristoff, and he was able to pull this together. So I want to thank Rob for doing that.
Oh, hey, it was my pleasure, and it just came together great. And guess what?
What?
would you like to have Angell to say one? We can call her back now if we want to try.
Okay, well, just send me the number privately
Just did.
All right. So let's see if we can just get her on for a few minutes to say bye. Let's see here. Sorry for the dead air. I hate dead air, but I got to dial up some digits. Here we go.
Well, it was really cool talking to Kristoff, and it's funny, some people's personalities really come through.
Hello.
Welcome back, Angell.
Thank you. Wow, I was struggling to hear that whole time, and then finally my service was like, no, we're gonna go ahead and call it a day. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Kristoff already signed off, but
did he?
Yeah, that's okay. He covered your end, so
I'm sure he held it down to the fullest.
He can talk, but it's cool though. I like listening to him.
No, he has a lot to say, a lot of great information. I love being around him. Mhm.
Yeah, he is good people, and once again, I just want to thank you for being part of the show tonight. And as I was telling him, we're gonna, after we get some development a few months down the road with you two on screen, we'll have you back to have more to talk about, since you guys are really at the beginning of the relationship right now. So
and when you can talk more about your family secrets, we want to hear about those.
Right, we'll be able to say more. It'll be more. That'll be more development.
Exactly. So that's what
right
we like
now.
To do.
It's like mum's the word.
Literally, right?
Literally.
Really, it's like it's not so much that you can say. It's like you got to dance around things and just kind of laugh things off and giggle here, giggle there.
Yeah.
So but it's all good soapy juice.
Oh, most definitely.
We'll see if any of our theories pan out.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll keep the conspiracy theories going. Now, since you've been on CBS now, do you get recognized a lot on the streets? Do people say, "Hey, Leslie," or anything like that?
I definitely do. I have to say I've noticed a difference within the past. It's on and off, like you said, because I was on the show and I was off and I was on. But definitely now I'm noticing you're Leslie. For some reason, whenever people look at me and they notice me, first off, I want to say, no, I'm not Jennifer Hudson. That's what I want to say first, because most people, honestly, paparazzi has followed me all through the city thinking that I'm Jennifer Hudson. So I want to let them know, I don't want to disappoint you, but I'm not Jennifer Hudson. And
I never thought about that till now.
It's happened.
I can see it now. I never...
Whenever people say that, I'm like, well, they're like, you look like Jennifer Hudson, and I think, I look like my mother or my father. That's who I look like to me. But
your eyes are so distinct. I don't, I don't see that, because your eyes are just so distinctly unique. That's one of the things most beautiful about you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
That's true.
I honestly, I really feel like I look like my mother and my father. But I can understand how people would see that we have a similar look. We look like we could be family, relatives, or something, cousins, something like that.
Exactly.
But so first,
people they see outlines. I think when they look at people, like when my hair's a certain way, I look like Brad Pitt, or when my hair's another way, I look like somebody else completely different.
I have to. You did, and when I saw your Twitter avatar, I was like, okay, hey, Rob B. Pitt. It happens. Yeah, it's like
there's worse people to be compared to. But,
whatever works. But so I'm normally stopping people saying I'm not Jennifer Hudson, and they're like, "You're Leslie, you're the lawyer," and I'm Y&R. So I'm actually pleasantly surprised when they notice me from Young and the Restless. It makes me happy.
Now, now, can you sing at all? Are you a singer?
My friends say that I can sing, but I don't claim that at all. I may be able to sing a note or a little tune here and there, but I don't sing. It's like it's a difference between singing and singing.
Do you do karaoke? Do you go out for karaoke with a couple drinks?
I love to karaoke. It's great because you don't have to. It's not so serious. You can have a good time, and if you hit a couple off notes, who cares?
Right. People won't notice.
Yeah, keep it lighthearted. Last time I karaoke was like a month ago, and I think what did I? Oh, I think I may have done a little rap number. I kept it kind of gully.
That's awesome.
So when you do get noticed like by people on the street, is it like everywhere from old ladies to little kids, or is it what are the range of people? I'm just curious.
It's honestly a range because of the different projects that I've done, but lately it's more of like a middle-aged situation going on, middle-aged female. But I also, like 20s, mid-20s as well. They seem to notice me as well. Huh. But I really haven't. I didn't take too much notice until you asked me. But yeah, it's 20s and mid-40s.
That actually makes sense. I'm trying to get a picture of like the current demographic of the Restless, so that is actually helpful to know.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, 20s and 40s, that's what it seems like. That's to a scene.
Well, we're in our 30s and we love you, so.
Well, 30s, hey, we got 30. We got room for 30s in there, too. But nowadays, it's really hard to tell how old anyone is because everyone's looking so young nowadays. You really don't know. Genetics are crazy.
Especially in LA.
So. Yeah, seriously, people are aging in reverse for sure. They're doing They're doing the Benjamin Button, without a doubt.
That's why I'm moving out there.
you might as well come on. Come on, there's room.
Yeah,
just beware, there is traffic. Lots of traffic, 24-hour traffic.
Yeah, I used to live there in 04 to 08, and let me tell you, that 405 just can literally kill a person.
Right, and honestly, it's definitely a good time to just start thinking any ideas, start developing, creating, because you have enough time to just sit and think. A lot of times to sit and think. It's normally when I make my phone calls. Because I'm not, I don't really talk on the phone too much, but normally when I'm on the 405. I call it the slow 05.
The slow 05.
That's like when I lived in Boston during the Big Dig. I lived in Boston during the Big Dig, and the traffic was just, any time between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m., just to get across town would take you like 3 hours. So I'd just be texting. Oh yeah, it was awful. Boston's pretty bad. I mean, it's gotten a lot better, but that's where I grew up. That's when I'd be texting and making my calls, and then when the traffic started moving, I'd still be texting and people beeping at me.
Right.
Like, okay, I can go now.
Right. Exactly. You got to take your moment.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again so much for doing this with us. You're a delight, and you're going to see lots of tweets and love and support for you going forth. We're huge fans, and you've got a lot of loving fans out there that are going to keep continuing to support your career and keep loving Leslie Michaelson every day.
I truly appreciate you guys. Honestly, like the encouragement and the support and the love and all that. You lift actors up when you do that. So it's much appreciated, and I love it. And hopefully, I can keep bringing it. Appreciate you guys.
No problem. Well, you have a great evening, and we will talk on Twitter.
Okay, I'm tripping. Now I can hear you guys clearly. Before, oh my goodness, I was like moving from side to side trying to hear how. I hope I answered the right questions, but it's all love.
It all worked out well.
Okay, cool beans. Thank you guys again.
You're welcome. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye. Okay.
Bye.
Oh, well, I'm glad she was able to get back on to at least say goodbye to us. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. This was a great show. A lot of Neil and Leslie fans are tuning in and tweeting about the show and stuff, so it was a great turnout, so thank you very much. Just want to let you know we just hit 1.6 million listeners today when I checked, and so we're just strutting right along. So, if this is featured on Blog Talk Radio tomorrow, for all you new listeners out there, be sure to follow us by going to our website at onairwithdouglas.com. Follow Rob at RobAnthonyD, and also follow me, the show, at On Air with Doug. And to continue, I could say it, to get all the latest upcoming show schedules and all that stuff. But my promo that I'm getting ready to play says all that anyway, so I don't know why I repeat myself. So anyway,
does that mean you're renewing my contract since we've hit such good numbers?
I'm renewing your contract. Yes. Yes. No new regime plans at this time.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Thank you, Rob, of course, for setting this up, and thank you, fans, for listening and tuning in. Just to give you a little update, we got a couple more great guests coming up this week. Tomorrow night, we have wife, mom, singer, songwriter, actress, and philanthropist And 1/3 of Wilson Phillips, Miss China Phillips. She was born into Hollywood royalty. John and Michelle Phillips of the famed group Mamas and Papas, or her Mamas and Papa, and began her career on her own in the best-selling female group of all time, Wilson Phillips. She'll be here tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern as she chats about her career, her experiences, and including some new music and a tour. So definitely don't want to miss that. Then Friday, we're going to end the week with some comedy. If you're a fan of Chelsea Handler, her show Chelsea Lately on E, comedian Josh Wolf is going to be joining our roundtable to dish on all the latest in entertainment and going-ons in the world. He has a brand new book coming out in March called It Takes Balls, Dating Single Moms and Other Confessions from an Unprepared Dad. If you go to onairwithdouglas.com, you can click on the book on the front page, and you can pre-order your copy now. And you can also see all the other goodies that are coming up. So, yeah, and then we've got the next 2 weeks after that booked as well. So go to onairwithdouglas.com, click around, check all the tabs, drop-down menus. There's all kinds of stuff for you. There's a little something for everyone. So thank you again for everybody. And once again, thank you so much for Blog Talk Radio for featuring our shows. I'm glad that you find our content worth featuring and sharing with new fans as well. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
So with that, we are done. We're out of here, and we'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. with China Phillips, and we'll be playing some of Wilson Phillips' greatest hits after the show. So good night, everybody, and good night, Rob.
Good night, Doug.
For a full archive of past shows and the upcoming schedule, check out onairwithdouglas.com. If you need help getting promotion out to our thousands of listeners, contact us at onairwithdouglas@gmail.com for more information. And be sure to check out our new weekly topical show, Sunday nights. Until next time, thanks for listening to our show.